All right. So we are about to set up the cot so I can actually have a place to sleep tonight. And if you'll notice, we're in sort of a suite. We've got like a bedroom and a living room area and this kitchen area. And if you can see the floor here in the kitchen, it is tile. So if you've ever used a Hoyer lift, then you know that rolling a Hoyer lift on carpet is kind of hard. And fortunately, hotel carpet's not like home plushy carpet, but still it's easier to roll on hard floor. So we're gonna set up the cot in the kitchen. So yes, I'm gonna be sleeping in the kitchen tonight. But yeah, that's kind of funny. So you ready to do this, Tim?
Yep.
All right. So Tim is gonna set it up and say, "Hey, Tim." Hey.
Hey, hey.
All right. And I'm just gonna roll out of the way because I am positively no help except maybe directional. But I'm gonna move over here so he can do his thing.
All right. This thing is held together by this one plastic clasp right here at the edge of the bed. And so I'm going to just open it up like so. And then I'm going to take this thing and lay it down. Now I'm told that this metal frame, even though it is kind of thin, it actually supports a tremendous amount of weight. What was it, the amount? Was it like 300, babe?
300, 400, something like that. All I know and care about is that it supports more than my weight, so we're good to go.
Okay. And so I'm just going to put this together. And you have had this how many years, babe?
I believe it's been about 4 or 5 years now, and
Yeah.
it's been a lifesaver on more than one occasion.
Yeah, it's about 4 or 5 years, which has actually been longer than we've been together. So
Yeah.
this thing has actually aged quite well for her to have had it this long.
And you can see it's still in great condition.
Mm-hmm. And as long as I'm just taking these metal parts here and just making them firm so that they'll keep the legs nice and firm when I flip it over. Now, I'm going to go ahead and flip this over now.
And this part can be a little tricky, but it's not bad.
Yep.
There we go.
So,
Because it bends.
yeah, even though there was that little bend in the middle there, once I got it on the other side, it's actually nice and firm. Stays in that one position. Now, they've got this strap, which is supposed to keep this pad attached to the metal frame. But for our purposes, since Holly's going to be laying down on this tonight, that thing would actually be sort of irritating left under her. So that's why I'm opening it up.
So we just move it out of the way.
Now, what's really cool about this is it's not just an ordinary cot like you might think, but it actually has some adjustable components. And there's actually a head and a feet position on this cot.
And they're handy labeled, so it's kind of hard to miss which is which.
And you said you want your head over on this side, is that correct?
That's right. So
Okay.
you've got it turned right. So that's the head of the bed.
And as you can see, this thing here actually has these little hooks down at the bottom. There's about 4 of them. And there's another 4 on the other side. And then there's these metal bars. And these little plastic things actually hook onto the metal bar. So what they'll do is they actually adjust the height. So this is like the maximum height. And then I can actually open it up, go down 1 more notch, open it a little more, go down another notch, go down, and this is the lowest setting before, if I go down any more, it would just go down flat.
Okay.
And what was the reason why this adjustable component was actually helpful?
So this cot was actually manufactured by a company in Shelby, North Carolina, and they manufacture, and I'll provide a link to the company, but they provide these to emergency shelters, emergency hospital setups, that sort of thing, like in the event of a national emergency like a hurricane or some sort of major catastrophe in a particular area. So they're used by like FEMA and people like that.
Mhm.
And so it's actually intended to serve as a makeshift hospital bed. Well,
wow.
on the road, you can't have, motorized hospital beds that can raise up and down.
Yeah.
But you can still have the functionality. And so this is a functional cot that works like a makeshift hospital bed. And so we can adjust the head. We just have to do it manually. And the feet are adjustable as well. There are these little things on the end, which you might not be able to see in the video, but that's okay. And they go down and they just sit right on the frame. So if you need to have your feet raised, which I will, you can actually sleep with your feet up, and it's a big help. So that's kind of how the whole thing works, and I'll pull back into the video now and swing around here. But like I said, this thing has served me well on many occasions when I've traveled and didn't have access to the actual hotel bed. I know that's a little crazy, but that's another story for another post. But for now, I just kind of wanted to demonstrate this again because it's been a while since I've mentioned it, largely because, like I mentioned earlier, we haven't been able to travel much lately because of COVID restrictions. But now that we can, somewhat, still being cautious, of course, but here we are in Tennessee, and we're all set up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get it, looking more like a bed. I have over here on this stool, we've got this kind of wadded up foamy stuff, but what it really is like a bed topper, and we're going to put that on top of the cot, and then we have sheets. So we'll put sheets and a pillow and all that awesome stuff. So I'll have like a little makeshift bed. All right. So that's how it works. And this is the Westcot product, and I'll provide a link.